so much, everyone, for joining us. This is our series of events called the Appy Hour with my colleague Steve, who heads up our app development program, and myself. So it's obviously focusing around Microsoft apps and our suite of local government apps that we've been building in partnership with our councils, our partners, etc. as well. So my name is David Hall. I'm the Managing Director of CloudyIT, and obviously joined by my colleague Steve Walker, who's our app development manager and also a counsellor and a counsellor himself. Steve, do you want to say hello?
Yes, good afternoon all. It's lovely to see everybody join us for our second Appy Hour. And yeah, we both myself and David and other members of the team here at Cloudy, we're quite excited about presenting these apps to you this afternoon, and we hope you enjoy.
Brilliant, thanks, Steve. And I suppose just a bit of housekeeping, really. You'll notice your cameras and your mics are muted. We've enabled that just to start with. We do want some conversation, obviously, and a bit of interaction. And when we finish the presentation, we'll enable all the mics and cameras. And please do, if anyone has any questions, please do let us know. But you can also use the chat. So if you do have something in the chat, please put that in there. My colleague Dan Beecher, who some of you might be aware of, will be able to respond to that as well. So here we go. So just very briefly before we make a start, for some councils that aren't aware of the products and services that Cloudy sell into the local government sector, we provide a number of different services into the sector. We've been doing it for over 8 years now. They're starting with apps. Now, obviously, we're here today to talk about apps, so really exciting. We've started our program of apps built on the Microsoft Power Platform, low code, low cost, and we'll hear about more of those in a second. We then also do agenda pack solutions built upon Microsoft 365, helping you to build agendas quicker, faster, and more efficiently as well. And we've got a number of presentations about that. In fact, our event next week, we have our partner Decisions coming on to talk about agenda pack creation using Microsoft 365. So really worthwhile attending that one if you can. We also do IT support and training, so real bread and butter stuff, licenses, configuration, migration, the hosting of routers, all those wonderful things we can do here at Cloudy. But also we do training, so important to make sure you get the most out of your tech. And we'll come on a bit later on to some of the things we've got around training. We've actually brought out a sort of council toolkit for councils as they onboard new councillors from the elections, and we've got some great devices and some great opportunities around training to make sure they're all up to speed and comfortable. We're doing broadcasting for council meetings as well, obviously something that's really taken off in the sector. It's super important now that you keep that engagement with the community, and we're helping lots of councils with that. And then once again, next week, we've got an event. We've got a couple of councils joining us from the equipment we've installed who are going to be talking about their experiences, as well as our partners like Logitech coming along to talk about the technology as well. So a real worthwhile one attending. And then finally, we do web design and accessibility. So we have a fantastic little app that allows your website to be fully compliant in real time, and we can help you with building out of a WordPress site and supporting that as well. So those are our key services we do in the sector, and we're really lucky to be providing it to over 100 councils now, as well as SLCC now as well. Really excited to be working with them and putting these very same systems we're working with for our councils into these wonderful council bodies as well. So really exciting. Right. We this year, with our partners, including Microsoft, launched at the Practitioners Conference our Digital Levelling Up agenda. Now, everyone's, I suppose, jumped on the bandwagon maybe with levelling up, but I think it's a very worthwhile thing to mention. Digital levelling up. We had Linda Chandler join us from Microsoft at Practitioners to really talk about hyperlocal, smart towns, smart parishes, no longer smart cities. Linda's put together a lovely blog about this, which is going onto our website soon, and we'll be joining us at an event later on in the year. But if anyone missed Linda's session at the Practitioners Conference, please do go back and have a look at it. It was really interesting, talking about obviously community and these things, these buzz phrases like hyperlocal and stuff. So all really super relevant to towns and parishes all over the country now, as we're all trying to ensure that we can deliver those services digitally in a world that is sort of so connected and working in such a flexible way. So this is our Digital Levelling Up type agenda. And throughout the year, we've got events on, every month. We're attending lots of different events as well, because we want to really interact and engage with all of our council customers. So we're at the Management in Action, we're at the National Conference, with the One Voice Wales Conference. We're all over the place. So really exciting. So please do join us or come and see us at any one of those events. So now we're going to talk about the apps. So thankfully, I'm going to jump off on this section and Steve's going to take the lead. So Steve, over to you for this section.
Thank you very much, David, for the introduction. So apps and what is available to us. So if you've got a Microsoft 365 subscription, there are the standard apps that you're always probably aware of, the likes of Outlook and Word, Excel, maybe PowerPoint and Visio and sometimes Access. They are the core apps that make up the Office suite, and they have done for many years. With 365 coming along, Microsoft have expanded the list of apps that are available as part of your subscription. And as you can see from the listings there on the left, bookings forms, Delve, Lists, OneNote, Planner and Tasks, Shifts and Teams, Business, Voice are just some of those apps that are available to you as a 365 tenant. So today we're going to do look at one of the Microsoft apps from the list. We're going to look at bookings, mainly for scheduling appointments online. It's a very useful app. And it's one of those apps that, again, not many people are familiar with. A lot of people use Outlook or maybe the Teams calendar to book appointments with each other or sending external meeting invites. Bookings allows you to present an on-screen link for people to go and have a look at. So what I'm just about to do, I'm going to go and get our bookings screen up, and then I'm going to walk you through a couple of ways that works, and then we're going to have a look at a quick review of last month's app, which was the Park Inspections app, and then we're going to have a focus today on the Asset Manager. So that's the focus of today's meeting, and as David said earlier on, we'll do some Q&A after the presentations. So if you just bear with me one moment, I shall just get a couple of screens ready for you that were ready, of course, and then decided that they wanted to disappear off into the background. So let's, David, can you just pop us forward one more slide, please? Fantastic. Right, so our suite of apps are made for any size council. They're cost effective, they're easy to use, they're off the shelf. They are effectively something you can download and install into your 365 tenancy. Or of course, there's something that, if we manage your platform, we can do that for you, or we can walk you through the installation process yourself. It's extremely simple, doesn't take very long. I've done it with a couple of clerks. They've done the installation themselves, and I've just been on the call to help them. It's very simple. Now they're built on the 365 platform. This gives a couple of advantages. One, these are apps that you'll be familiar with how they work and how you access them, and they're available to your Teams environment. They're available. You can ping them out as a shortcut. You can have them as a desktop shortcut. There's a variety of ways you can access them. So they're very familiar. They're securely built on the cloud. So the data and the app itself is securely stored within the Microsoft cloud. It's within your tenant. So all of your data that you have that you enter, none of that is on a third-party system beyond your tenancy or your council's own tenancy with Microsoft. So the data isn't coming backwards and forwards to say us or elsewhere beyond your boundary. So if you do have some data protection policies in play that relate to resident data, that would cover the data that you entered into these apps. Now we've gone for a very small suite, Park Inspections, a generic inspections app for people that have some maybe street furniture that they inspect, or they might not have a play park, they may have a rec or something similar that has some facilities or assets in it that need inspections. We have a generic inspection for that. We have an allotment management app that we are developing with a couple of councils. That's very exciting. I'll be looking forward to in a coming broadcast walking you through that. Asset Manager, which of course we'll be looking at today. We have a Green Spaces app that has a public facing component which allows members of the public to log issues with you, and you have the council has the app side of that receives that information, and then it can be sent out for a repair by an in-house team or maybe a contractor. And on completion of the repair, if the resident has registered their email address, it will send them a note saying thank you for your report. This has been actioned now. And a rather specialist app. Not all councils have this, and not all councils will need it, but we have a youth services app as well for the management of youth cases and so forth. And there are more planned. We've got a few in the pipeline that we are hoping that we can bring and expand on this list. And again, they're based on feedback we've received from councils that have our apps or have been discussing apps with us, has said it would be nice if you did an app or was there an app that could do this? So again, we've gone away, myself, David, and other members of the team. We've sat down and looked at some of these requests, and some of those requests are going to become reality. There will be an app for them in the future. And as you can see from the slide, they are available from the Microsoft App Store. So if you go onto the App Store, do a search for Cloudy or inspections, or several of the phrases in the list, we come up and you can see our suite of apps. And in there's some basic information about them. There's some screenshots of all of the apps that we have, and of course links to the website and the documentation on there, where there's a couple of brochures and you can read through. So last month's app was park inspection. So this was geared, many councils, from the smallest community council upwards have a park or some form of park. They're very, very common. We all know that they need inspecting, and this came about a request from a council that said, could you build something that would be easier for us to keep an eye on our parks and run the inspections and the repairs. So we had to think about this, and we thought, actually, there's probably something we could do. So our app replaces traditional paper checklists. You can use it on a mobile phone, you can use it on a tablet. It needs obviously an active internet connection to function. So if you have one of the modern tablets that has 4G or 5G now, and every mobile phone, you can use those out on site to carry out inspections, or your grounds team, or staff that are carrying out maybe a repair or an installation, if they have it on their mobile phone. Again, all launched from within Teams. They launch into Teams, they log in using their 365 credentials, and then they open the app. So it's got all their information it needs. They can see what's going on. They can then report on the progress of repairs or the inspections in real time. So this updates it to the cloud, and then the clerk or assistant clerk or another officer of the council can be sat at a computer with it on their screen and see, as work is carried out in their app, where they're logged into, the work's progress, so that they can see that if they've gone out in the morning to repair a broken bench, and the grounds team repair it and they update it on the app, the officer or clerk can then see in their app pictures of the repair, know that it's complete. It might have been reported by a resident, and they can get back to a resident and say, thanks for the report of the bench. Just to let you know, the grounds team have gone and repaired the bench now, and it's back in service. So all of this is from within the app. And again, it can be 1 user, 5 users, 10, 50 users. There's no limit on number of people that can use the app. So this month's app, it's the Asset Manager. So again, this was built in conjunction with a couple of councils that have been asked, did we have something that they could just keep track of some items that they'd got. So over the last probably about 3 or 4 months, we've been working on the asset manager, and it's gone through several versions. We've deployed it to some councils for them to provide us some feedback on. That's gone really, really well. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the data is stored within inside your tenant, so it's secure in your 365 environment. It uses your Office 365 login to access it, so you don't have to remember another set of passwords or users. And access is controlled by a team. So if you're familiar with using Teams and the Teams environment, you can set up, or we can assist you with setting up an apps channel, and in there, those users have access to the apps. All our app families look similar. You know, the family looks similar. There's a relationship, a visual relationship between all of them. So if you're familiar with using one, you'll be familiar with using another one. And again, like the other inspection apps, data can be imported and exported to and from Excel. We also offer a data import and transformation service for those of you that may have data in a format that's not so easy to manipulate electronically. We could look at the data with you and offer you a solution. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to pop up on the screen the asset manager. And again, we'll touch a little bit on park inspections as well, because they do go hand in hand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that out of the way for now and concentrate on the asset manager. The same screen. Now, you're probably quite familiar with, I'm just going to, yeah, you're probably quite familiar with the layout of the asset manager if you've seen the park inspection app or you've seen any of our other apps. We have a dashboard that gives just some basic information on the number of assets at the locations that you've got. We've got some information about warranty that's expired and how many assets that have been added recently and either available or unavailable. So the main screen we have are the assets themselves. So in here we've got a list. Now this scrolls nicely on the computer. If you're using a tablet or a mobile device, you can step up and down with the navigation buttons, use the mouse, or if it's very easy to navigate. We've got a search facility that allows you to look for the name or the location or supplier. You can filter by the location, you can filter by the category, or you can filter by its status. Status is new. This was asked of us by a council. They said, you know, would it be possible to have an asset status change from being available to unavailable in the case of, say, groundskeeping equipment like a mower or a ride on a tractor or a unit or something similar. They wanted it sometimes, if it was in for repair, to be unavailable so that people were aware. And of course, if they had an asset that they'd, you know, again, a piece of mechanical equipment that had been disposed of, they wanted to set its status to dispose to, again, assist with some AGAR reporting, which I'll touch on after this. So the statuses of the items are color coded so that you can see which items are available, which items have been disposed of, and which items are unavailable. And so we can go and look at our ISO container and see that we've got some units in there. Some of those items are unavailable, and some of those items, as you can see here, are available. And we can change the status of an item extremely quickly. So we have this street light, which is currently, I can set it to unavailable, and that happens straight away. So you can see the save. You don't see anything. It's just done straight away. So if I go here and I want to change this to unavailable, for argument's sake, I click save. The change is straight away on the item, and I can go back to make it available, save it, and it's back available. We can take our VAT off. We can look at the categories. So I can look at, my play park equipment, so I can see how much equipment. And this is going to come in. This is quite important in a minute. So if we concentrate on play park equipment, when I go back to the park inspection app, I'm going to show you one of the parts of the app family that have the progress that we've made on some integration. So we'll come back to that shortly. So again, these categories we've got a setup in here. You can choose as many as you want. Some are preset by the app, but you can add in other ones as you need to, or remove the filter, and then we can go by status. What have we got that's unavailable? What have we disposed of? And what items we have that are available. The addition of an asset is extremely easy. We'll click on add asset and we'll choose its name. So I'm going to go for, it's a modular multi-user. Now I had that already prepared frame. I haven't got a tag. It cost, let's say it was £1,700. Now the asset's been delivered to us and we put that into David's shed, and it came from Compound, isn't it? I think it is. Yes, Compound. We purchased it. Let's say we went and got it today. I haven't put it in a category yet, and I will make its status available. I will come down to add an image. So it is that one there. So I've saved that now. So that's been delivered. We've had it delivered to David's shed, and I will probably click to, apologies for my typo, it is Compound, of course. So we have that now. What I'm going to do is make that category for that particular item park and play equipment, and I'm going to save it as that. So we've now added it into that category. So I've made the item available and I put it into park and play equipment. So this now in the asset manager, we've got him locked in. I'm going to pop over to locations quickly. I'll just cover these quickly. So locations, as we saw, we've just put our new piece of equipment into David's shed. You can edit the names of these items and update them. You can, if they have items assigned to them, they can't be deleted. So there is a check for there. And we've got a variety of different sites. This list, you can have as many on here as you wish. And they can be, if I want to change that to ISO unit 2, for argument's sake, and update it, that appears straight away on our list. Same with categories. Some categories are preset by the application itself, but if you happen to have a unique one and you didn't want to call it vehicles, you wanted to call it something else, vehicles and bikes, for argument's sake, vehicle and bikes, we can update that. Again, it takes place straight away. Items where categories have been assigned to, again, there's a check to ensure if you wish to delete it, it won't let you. Same with a location. Moving very quickly over to reports. Again, this was asked of us by a council that wanted a very quick way of filtering what they had by quantity and availability. So again, in our ISO unit 2, and notice the name changes has taken effect straight away. I have all of these items. The total value of those items is there. Now I might want to see how many of them are play and park equipment. As we can see, we have £4,600 worth of play and park equipment at that location. I can remove the location. I can see how much play and park equipment I've got. And if I had vehicles and bikes, how many I have, IT equipment. So there we go. We've got some laptops and they're in there. And again, I can begin to look around the different locations and filter to see where my IT equipment has been put. It's very, very quick. Like I said, it's fast and easy to use. Filters allow you to quickly drill down and see that, this town council, I've got my 10 laptops there and they're flagged under IT equipment. And I can change my category, like I say, and it will go through them quite easily. We can go to the tops and remove the excess. So it's quite easy. There is on a version of this that we're planning to have very, very shortly, there will be the Excel icon will appear, which will allow you to filter down by what you've got. Clicking the Excel item will export what's on the screen, so that if you were just interested in your park equipment, that would just export that. It would give you the asset, the quantity, the value, the total. It gives you additional information from the asset rows as well. So it makes it easier for you to manipulate the data outside of the application itself. So back into assets. So as we did earlier on, into David's shed, we put our compound modular gimlet, which is really, really nice. We're looking forward to deploying that in our park. So I happen to have to hand our park inspection app. For those that weren't with us last month, you can watch the video and you can see this. We're back over to our sites and items, and we've gone to our SLCC Play Park. Now, we were talking earlier on about the equipment that is visible in these locations. So I'm going to link an item, and from in here, items that the asset manager has got. So I'm going to go back and let it pick up that change. Go to our play park, go to link item. This is when, of course, it's going to be like, you're not having that. So it's one of those days when it should have appeared in this asset list available for placing into a park. So while we pop back to the asset manager, I just want to check that I've made that available. Yeah, I have made them available. Bear with me. It's one of those fun parts of live demonstrations, isn't it? That I think we might need to just go back and have a little look to see. Well, in my earlier demonstration, of course, I've added a couple of items and they were there straight away. So whilst we're looking at something in a minute, I'm just going to go and have a little check to see why our thing hasn't shown up as I expected it to. So it may be because I'm going to add another one. So I do apologize for this happening to us. Actually, what I might do is go back to this, and I think we may open him. So what we were saying about how easy they are to access, we'll go into Teams and we'll go into Teams, and as we can see here, we've got our park inspection app. So I shall open this up from within my Teams channel. We'll go over to items on this screen, and I'm gonna, there we go. So the modular multi-user gimlet frame is available in here. It just took it a second or so to realize. So I'm going to link that item now. So I come down to that. I'm going to put it into our play park, and I'm going to click save. So that's now dropped into our play park. As we can see here, the location, it's recognized where it is. If I now go to do a new inspection at our SLCC play park, we will see that item has a checklist entry and we are able to go and inspect it. So is what we were expecting to happen. I'm quite pleased to say, and that asset in here now is available to the park inspection app. So I shall come off that screen very, very quickly. If David could put the slides back up for me, please.
Steve, were you going to talk through bookings at all?
That's what I was just about to do while the slides come up. I was just getting that loaded up ready.
No worries, and you did very well with that sort of the presentation thing as well. Always the demo gods come to get you, don't they? Stuff like this.
I know, it's definitely not on our side. Not on our side.
But as Steve brings up bookings as well, you know, as you can see, we've got some real rapid improvements that we're always pushing through. And he mentioned about the use of our apps. Councillors get to use our apps free of charge as well. So we know for those smaller councils that, you know, the councillors are very hands-on. They don't get included as a license, which is great to hear as well. So so what I'll do is we'll actually put a booking link in the chat straight to Steve's diary, actually. So he'll demonstrate bookings, and then you can see it in practice, because I'll put his link in the chat, and you're always welcome to have a one-to-one chat with Steve about any of the things that you've seen as well. So yeah, How you getting on, Steve? Are you ready to share your end?
I am literally, as we are speaking, I am absolutely nearly in there now and ready to do. So, right,
Cool.
okay. I'm ready to get back to where we were. Sorry about this, everybody. Live demonstrations can always be fun, aren't they? So let me just, I'm going to pop up and get onto this screen now. I trust everybody can see me and they can see the booking screen that we've got up here. So Microsoft Bookings, what does it do? So from your you can do from your start menu or from the Office app, you'll have on the left-hand side bookings links. It's a very light green, a very light sort of bluey green B. And what this allows you to do is to provide yourself with effectively a public link where people are able to go and, as you can see here, book a meeting with you. Now, I've got a couple of choices on mine. You can book a Teams meeting or you can book a meeting in person. And this allows you to look at availability, like the calendar, the availability. So if we were to go to Thursday, you can see that if you wanted to book a Teams meeting with me at 11 o'clock or 11, we could. You fill in your details down here and any notes that you have, and then you click book. What that does, it sends you a calendar invite and a reminder. It books me out for that period of time, sends me an email and puts you onto my calendar. From there, you can manage the booking directly. So if you think, oh, I can't do 11, I can do 11:35. Using your link back into bookings, you can do this. They're exceptionally easy to set up. You choose which calendar you wish to do, and then you do your booking page. And in your booking page, you are able to modify the information that appears, who receives notifications, how much time you want to increment. So we can do 30 minutes, the lead time for booking, the maximum lead time. I think they only give you that. You're able then to customize your page. So the look and feel of the page can be customized in here, along with the time zone. Obviously, we're probably all in the United Kingdom. So this makes it available to no, it's internal. It's available to only people. So in my case, obviously with us at Cloudy, or of course available to anybody on the internet. You are then able to copy the link, so I can send it to someone. If someone said, Steve, I'd like to book a meeting with you, or as David just said, he can put a booking link in the chat. I can email it to someone from within inside the booking page that we've got here, or if I wish, I can embed it into another web page. So I've got a WordPress council website and I want to embed it inside that, so it has the same look and feel as the council's website. I can do that here, or I can use the standard, as we can see here, Microsoft one that I've customized very, very slightly. This allows me to specify my availability. So under staff, if there's, say, there's yourself and an assistant clerk, or maybe there's a clerk and you have two assistants, or there's you're a grounds, the grounds team, and you've got several members, and you wish people to see you maybe about some work in the cemetery, you can add in as many bookings as you want. There should be as many staff members as you want, and you can all have your own unique booking area where you can have, now here's mine, I've got a Teams meeting and obviously in person. I can edit or add into here as many new different types of bookings as available. So one of the councillors that clerks, sorry, I helped recently, they wanted a link so that people could book a visit to the cemetery. Another one wanted to book allotment appointments. So again, each one that we see in this screen here, where I've got a generic Teams meeting or a meeting in person, they had got, an allotment viewing, the same with the cemetery, and you could choose what you wanted to book for, which again could be different times. I could say that on a Wednesday I'm always in the office, so you can come and see me or do Teams, but I'm not in the office on a Thursday or a Friday, so you can only do a Teams meeting, and that's all configurable within the options as you're setting them up in here, how you do it, the times you do it, and of course what availability you want to show. So again, an extremely useful app. And again, as we were saying with services in here, easy to configure, and you can have a unique booking each time. So if I share this link with you, this will only allow you to book a Teams meeting with me. If I want you to have this link, it will only share an in-person meeting with you. So if someone has made an inquiry and it relates purely to allotments, and in your list of services you've got an allotment meeting, you can just send them that and say, this is my availability for an allotment inspection or an allotment view. The business information is basically, of course, me, the hours that I wish to be available for this particular booking. Are there any terms and conditions? And what basic details have we got? So when it asks to book in person, that's the business address that I want those people to come and see me at. So uses your calendar in Outlook as normal. So if I open my Outlook calendar up or my Teams calendar up, any bookings made by anybody appear automatically in my calendar. So that if I'm working, say, out on the allotments on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I can see then how many slots I have on that day. So if I happen to take a call over the phone and someone says, could I come and see an allotment, I can already see where I will be on that day. Like I say, it's exceptionally easy to use. Once it's set up, to book a meeting, it's extremely quick. Email confirmation, a confirmation goes to both the booker and yourself, and of course it appears in your calendar. So at the end of the session, we're going to do some Q&A, and we're more than happy, as David mentioned earlier on, to offer some training on some of these Microsoft services. So I'll get David to pop us back to the slideshow now.
Excellent.
Get down to the end.
Yeah, great, Steve. Well, thanks for that. And yeah, we've had some real success with bookings, as well as what Steve just mentioned there. We've set up bookings for farmers markets, Christmas fairs, you know, so it's really good. And we're always really interested to hear if clerks and councillors come forward with new interesting ways to do it, and just really spread that around and let other, you know, councils benefit from it, really. So just going to flick to where we were, which was there. So I mean, that was, I suppose, Steve's bit, which was the majority. So Steve, thanks ever so much for that run through of the asset manager, obviously a slight review on the park inspection, and then a real in-depth look at Microsoft bookings. I don't know, did you do forms last week? Last month, I can't remember now.
No, we spent quite a while on park inspection, and we went all the way through the varying options. We were going to look at forms, but I think we'll look at forms in one of the coming months, because again, I think that's a very important app that I think councils would make a lot of use of.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, you know, we're going to focus on a different app from Microsoft. These are free apps, you know, forms, bookings, lists, planner, and just talk through their use cases, which is really exciting. So, and all these apps do link together. This is the exciting part. The whole ecosystem is all interlinked, and Microsoft are bringing out regular updates as well. We can't even stay on top of it. You know, it's incredible. So just really sort of a bit of the commercial stuff. So apologies, everyone, but we do have some offers on our apps as well. Yeah, we have offers for new customers, free for 2. You can have free use of our apps as well for 3 months, and existing clients as well, who we obviously value dearly, have discounts on apps, and we can help with those data imports as well. So lots of offers that we're making for apps as well. So you know, please do get in touch to find out more information. But these are some of the things we're doing. Now, finally, we just wanted to move on to something we want to mention, which we're really excited to bring out, which is our councillor tech packs. Now, we've been fielding quite a few calls from councils as new councillors come on board, and we're really assisting not with just obviously the technology to support those councillors, the hardware and the support and the device management, but also the training. We know that's super important. So we've just recently launched 2 different products or services, one being a range of devices that could be used for counsellors. We've had some really positive reviews of this equipment. We know it's a real challenging decision trying to find the right tech at the right price. And we've just simplified it here. And we've got 3 different products, starting from a tablet with a detachable screen to a tablet and laptop and detachable cover, which is the Surface Go. Great product as well. And then the Surface Laptop Go as well. So all the products are, really well built, have been used before, great feedback, and this really can help you simplify that decision of trying to equip your counsellors with devices. And we've got some bolt-ons as well, so to speak, so we can provide our agenda building solutions, decisions, our suite of apps from some of them obviously that Steve demonstrated, as well as the Microsoft apps as well, Teams and etc. And then we've got some other ones like around device management and security, extended warranty and accidental damage as well. And then we've got a toolkit of resources for councils. So if you're a Cloudy customer, we give you access to a free e-learning portal where we've got pathways for counsellors, advanced, beginner, as well as hundreds of videos on how to use 365. We have a monthly skills boost free of charge where you can jump on and ask our trainers any question you could, ask about forms or bookings, and we'll run through it, as well as our webinars as well that we're putting on. And if you're not a Cloudy customer, we are happy to do training as well. This is something that we do regularly, so do get in touch. It's not a free service clearly, but it's certainly something that I'm sure will be very useful and would assist you as you obviously onboard your new councillors. Sorry. So those are some of the things we're doing. Really excited to release that, and there'll be some communications going out about that. We haven't actually announced all this package yet, but they're going out, and we're more than happy to come out and actually see our councils as well. We don't always like to sit from behind the screen. It's really exciting to get out and see people, and we've got all this equipment in boxes which we can bring along and we can go through with yourselves and the chairs and the counsellors to really get out and play with it and get a feel for it. And that's not just laptops, but broadcast and equipment as well. We offer free trials of that. So yeah, really important just to make sure you're really comfortable with that technology as well. So something we're happy to do. So we're rounding things off now. We're on track for time. We're going to move on to the Q&A. I'm just going to basically just turn on everyone's mics and cameras, so it might go a bit crazy here. We'll see how this one works. I'm going to allow cameras. Here we go. And equally, we're going to I think the mics you can just unmute yourself if you wish, but if anyone's got any questions, please do say. Obviously, we've put Steve's booking link in there as well. So if you'd rather a one-to-one conversation, then, please do just book a session with Steve, or, contact myself or Dan, and we'll happily go through anything that we've just discussed a moment ago. But if anyone's got any questions, please do raise your hand or just say now. Otherwise, we'll sort of just talk about some of the other things. This is a monthly session as well. So, these are things that we're going to put on really regularly, so you can keep coming back and hopefully learning more about our products and services. But if there's any questions, I'll give it just a couple of seconds just to see if anyone's got any.
And of course, people can catch up on these on the videos, can't they? They'll be published on the website, so that you can go and look at this and previous and future sessions and play the recordings back and go over some of the things that we've highlighted for the apps as well. So you have that as a resource that's available more or less straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Well, I think, Steve, it's a really good run for us always. And I think it really helps because you're a counsellor. You just understand, all the real, the sort of nuances of the sector. Obviously, we're in IT. We've been working in the sector for quite a few years and we understand a lot. But if you are a counsellor or an officer, you clearly, it's a bit more in depth. And, as I've mentioned, we've got lots more of these events. So please do join us next month, where we have another session where we focus on a different app. Steve, which app are we focused on next month? Do you know?
I think we'll do forms. I think we'll do form. We'll do our apps. I think we'll look at the allotment management, and I think for the 365 we'll look at forms.
Yeah, allotments is really exciting, isn't it? And I know you've.
I
don't want to give too much away, but Rosper had a look at it and they're quite impressed, weren't they? So
yes, we've got a lot of interest with that. And again, I know from working with my own clerk, allotment inspections isn't the most glamorous job. She tells me that she has, And the app is certainly looking to make that a lot easier for the management of any council that does have an allotment.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, thanks ever so much for joining us, everyone. Really appreciate your time. If anyone wants to go and see all the videos we've done previously, we've been at a really busy, few months or 12 months we've putting on events like this. Do go to our website. Also, we've got a really busy schedule of events planned as well next month or next week. Sorry, we're doing broadcasting and meeting management. The week after, we're having a session, or the month after, sorry, on choosing the right cloud. We've got Microsoft joining us for that one, where they'll be talking about, as well as clerks who have moved to 365, to talk firsthand of their experiences. I think the month after that, we're doing one on security. So it's a real busy schedule. But once again, really appreciate your support for coming along. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and take care. So all the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye now.